Ladies and gentlemen, Reggae Boys and Reggae Girls, it is finally time to react to Jamaica's 60-man preliminary roster for the upcoming 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. I've been waiting for this day. Obviously, all of the rosters got released, but today is just Jamaica's in this video. Now, this is going to be a blind reaction. I actually haven't seen who is on this list just yet because I was at work all day. So this is going to be a pure reaction for you guys about who is on and who's not on the team. Now, before I get into it, though, I'm going to have it displayed to my left right here in just a moment. But let me know in the comments down below afterwards how you feel about this team going into the Gold Cup. Who you think should have been in there, who you think is in there, I guess, and whatever you feel about it, just let me know in the comments down below because we're going to read and react to all of them naturally. So let me show you guys the list right over here. I don't know if it's going to change my camera. Is it over here or something like that? But we have the list. I'm going to go scroll down so you guys can read along with me. Now, I'm sorry if it's a little bit hard to read. This is probably the best format I could have got it for this one. So let's just start from the top, number 1 through 60. All right, and it seems like we're going backwards alphabetical order. So we're going to go with Stephen Young from Portmore, Tariq Jimenez, something like that from Portmore as well. Romario Williams and Benjamin Williams. We got Shamar Watson, Jamali Waite, goalkeeper, of course. Ricardo Thomas, Devante Stewart, Jonathan Russell, Bobby Reed, Adrian Reed, Ethan Pinnock, Demario Phillips, Casey Palmer, Shamar Nicholson, Malik Mothersill. That's a fire name. Dimitri Mitchell, Kyle Ming. That is the least Jamaican name I would have expected on this list. Sule McCullough, Tyreek McGee, Jamal Lowe, Damian Lowe, Dexter Limbakisa, Greg Lay, Joel Lottie, Giovanni Lang, Richard King, good, Gennaro Johnson from Ajax. Ooh, oh, interesting. I haven't heard that name before, but I do like that. Gadeo Irving, Malik Howell, Mason Holgate. Okay. Isaac Hayden, Tyrese Hall. Ooh, Tyrese Hall. Wait, I think we had him on one of our videos for the 7 players that need to switch to Jamaica. I think I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we did at Tottenham. Nice. They're watching the videos, guys. Thank you for the support. It's getting to the right people. Daniel Green, Damari Gray, Rabino Gordon, Nikhil Ellis, Javon East, Kaheem Dixon, Shaquan Davis, Tafari Chambers, Ronaldo Stefas, Tyrese Campbell, Norman Campbell, Rumarn Burrell, Burton Albion, okay. Warner Brown, Andre Blake, of course, Corey Bennett and Al Nasser, Amari Bell, Lewis Baker. Ooh, Lewis Baker's in the team for the Gold Cup. Okay, I know there were some talks about it, but I didn't know if they were going to do it or not. Leon Bailey, Dwayne Atkinson, Michael Antonio. Interesting. I don't know where he is in his injury recovery, but the fact that he's here is a good sign. It's nice for him to be a part of it at least. Croy Anderson, Christopher Ainsworth, Corey Burke, Alvis Powell, Natalia Fuller, Andre Fletcher, and Raheem Edwards. Is that it? Yeah, that is it. Next one is Saudi Arabia. That's everybody's favorite North American country. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's just get right into discussing this team. I'm sure if you listen to the whole thing, there was a lot of names there that I didn't expect. Tyrese Hall, I think it was born in what, 2005? 2005. Just turned 20, a nice youth prospect. Now, I don't know every player's stats on if he's made appearances with Jamaica senior team or youth team. Remind me in the comments down below. I forget, but he's a good sign here. And two, Lewis Baker, I do like a lot for that midfield. Now, if you guys are subscribers of the channel, which I hope you guys are, and if you're not, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We're this close to 3,000, so if you want to be part of the Getting Football wave this summer, make sure to help us out. But every single Jamaica video I do, every single Reggae Boys content we produce, I have to mention how shit-ass this fucking midfield is. Excuse my language. But the fact that Tyrese Hall and Lewis Baker here is really, really, really a good sign, to be honest. I don't know if Tyrese Hall would make the 23 man, 26 man, one of those. I hope he does because she's a good talent that should be cap tied as soon as they can. But Lewis Baker has been a name. I think he was also in one of those videos we did. Is a name who's been long touted to be maybe a future Reggae Boy one day. And now I do know there were rumors with him going into this Gold Cup period, and it looks like they were true. He is called up. Hopefully he does stay and fully switch to Jamaica. I do like that. Same with Tyrese Hall. Now, of course, I'm sure you guys are really interested and in hearing me talk about this and have talked about this before. If you've read this before already, excuse me. But one big name missing here, one big name that is not in the squad, unfortunately, is Mason Greenwood. Where is Mason Greenwood, man? The questions need to be asked. Is it worth it anymore? Now, Yes, some of you are going to say yes because he's a great striker, and I do agree with you, and I would say it's kind of worth it. But he's played with the Jamaican FA for so long now. Where is he? The rumor was he was going to be here for the Gold Cup, and to be honest, if he was here, I think that is almost make or break between quarterfinal finish and semifinal appearance, or a difference, something similar to that. I thought Mason Greenwood was going to be a for sure lock to be here for the Gold Cup, and it's going to be honest, it's a little disappointing that he's not. I'm very disappointed that he's not. I really expected him to be here and to lead the line for Jamaica in the upcoming Gold Cup in their group and make it out of the group stage and hopefully move on to the quarters, semis, maybe even final with him. He has that quality with him. He's a player that could do that for sure for Jamaica, and he's not here. He has long been, obviously, there's been a lot of drama, right? Not just talking about what happened years ago, but Mason Greenwood with Jamaica has been drama filled. What isn't drama filled with this federation, right? Mason Greenwood, unfortunately, is not here. Now, who is it though? Obviously, it's not the FA. Obviously, the FA want him in here as soon as possible, and that's why the rumors have some credibility behind them. But why is he not here? Is it paperwork? Is it him? Now, of course, let me know in the comments down below if you guys know more than me. Obviously, I want to know if you do because I'm not the most up to date with every little aspect of the saga. I just briefly, I see it here and there. But Mason Greenwood, man, it really begs the question of is he just waiting for the World Cup, which sucks, right? Because if you want a player for your nation, you want him to be part of the entire process. Now, if he had skipped out on the World Cup qualifiers and there was no Gold Cup before the World Cup, obviously that's one thing, and that would still be disappointing. And you'd want him to be part of it to help guide your team to the World Cup. But the fact that there is a major tournament before the World Cup and before the rest of the World Cup qualifiers, who kind of not just began, but they're still ongoing, still about halfway through it. You'd want him to at least be in this big tournament. You want to see how he performs in the not the last competitive games, but the most important competitive games before the biggest tournament in the history of sports, if you're not counting the Olympics. Uh, you'd want him to be a part of the whole journey, the whole Reggae Boy journey, getting there. Be with the team rather than having this cohort of players who is pretty consistent. We know who's going to be on this team. Scrolling through the list, there are names on there that I've never heard of, and I can promise you, I will continue to not have heard of because they're not going to be on this team. There's a specific squad that Steve McClaren likes to have for the Reggae Boys, and they're going to grow together. They're going to mesh together. They have chemistry already, and you want that. That is the one, not the one. Obviously, you want qualification for the World Cup, but that is another one big thing that you want during World Cup qualifiers and major tournaments before that World Cup is cohesion amongst the team, right? Now, I'm not too worried about Lewis Baker because he is thrown in there. He still has a whole year. He has a lot of games to play with Jamaica. He can do it. Same with Tyrese Hall. Same with whichever other potential debutant that I've mentioned here that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. You want that cohesion going into the biggest tournament where you want to show that you are a team that should not be messed with. And it's a big disappointment that Mason Greenwood isn't here. I'm going to be honest. I'm very disappointed as a Reggae Boy fan. I'm sure you guys are as well. But it's getting tiring. Let's be honest. It's getting tiring that the fact that he just hasn't been able to join anytime soon, and it looks like it's not going to happen anytime soon at all. It's very disappointing that this has been a thing for well over a year. Well, maybe a year and a half now. It's been a long time since we made our first video covering that topic in particular. This has been a saga for so long to the point where is it even worth it anymore to try and piece the two together? It'd be really easy to say that if Mason Greenwood wasn't as good of a striker as he is. He's a fantastic striker and a generational talent soccer wise. So it is really hard to say it's not worth it. I do think they should still try if they can because he's a game changer, especially in CONCACAF and the level of players around here. But I do wish that he was here for this Gold Cup. I do think he's the make or break between, like I said, a group stage or quarterfinals exit and a semifinal or final appearance. I think he is the talisman that Jamaica needs because let's be honest here, man. The Jamaica's strike force isn't that good. It's not as good as it should be compared to the level of talent on the rest of the team. Michael Antonio did his thing for a little bit, but I do think he had more of a name than product for the Jamaican national team. Shamar Nicholson is there, and he had his great moments, but he hasn't really been able to kick it into gear. You have Warner Brown, who actually I do like Warner Brown a lot. I think Warner Brown deserves more chances with the Reggae Boys in the starting role. in just appearance role. I do like it, and he had a great finish last international window for the Gold Cup qualifiers. I believe that was. I forget who exactly. Some islands, some smaller islands, and look close. But he had a great finish. I do think he has a good finishing boot on him. So I'm glad that he's here. But still, right? You have Warner Brown, you have Shamar Nicholson. Compared to the rest of CONCACAF, where Mexico has Santi and Raul Jimenez, the USA has Josh Sargent and Balogun and Timothy Weah. I laugh a little at that because whatever. But Canada has Jonathan David, Promise David, who's the other player that just Daniel Jebison, not to mention whatever other CONCACAF nation. I feel like Jamaica's strike force is just a little left to be desired, and it is backed up by some great support pieces. Obviously, you got Leon Bailey, you got Damari Gray, just to mention two, not to mention Cephas and Kaheem Dixon and whoever else they want to bring in there. It does remedy it just a little bit, but I do wish that the likes of Mason Greenwood were here to help that attacking line. It would have been a big deal. But you know what? I digress. That was a long rant about that. Let's talk about who is here and who I do want to see. I do want to see Richard King. I do like Richard King a lot, and I hope that he gets more game time with the Jamaican national team because I think he's a great player. I don't want to say I'm amazed, but I do think he should find a move out of Jamaica's Premier League because I think he deserves that. I think he could compete at other leagues around the world. But I do like him being involved with the Jamaican national team. Let me share my screen again here, just to show you guys who I'm liking here. But I do like the fact there's a lot of younger players, which is a good sign. A lot of 2000s and younger, and a lot of players from a lot of different countries around the world. We have Trevante Stewart, who plays over in Serbia. Who else do we have? We have obviously Shamar Nicholson, who plays in Mexico. A lot of English players. Obviously, Damian Lowe is still in Saudi Arabia playing over there. We go down here, Gennaro Johnson from Ajax, who is 17. That is rather interesting. I don't know that much about him, but I'm hoping that he's a good enough talent to bring him in. I'm hoping he's Jamaica's Gilberto Mora, Elias Montiel, and whatnot. Obviously, a lot of players that are still playing in the USA. Tyrese Hall, like I mentioned earlier, over in Tottenham. You have Damari Gray, who's also in Saudi Arabia. You have a player, Javon East, who plays over in Israel. Maybe I'm missing his name, but I feel like he's been in and around before. Very interesting. Obviously, Cephas in Turkey. Norman Campbell in Denmark, of course. You have Corey Bennett, who is obviously at Al Nassr. Amari Bell, who I guess he doesn't have a club right now, huh? Because Luton Town is better. Interesting. I didn't know that. And obviously a lot more English and USA stuff here. So it's a good mix of players. It's a good mix from different backgrounds and who bring different ideologies to this Jamaican national team squad. And I really hope that is good enough to switch up the way they've been playing. Obviously, Jamaica is good enough to make tournaments like Gold Cup, and they should be better than that, to be honest. Jamaica should be in a similar position to Panama, which, again, if you guys have watched the channel, I'm sure you guys have heard us say that before, but they have the talent pool to do such a thing. Let's hope that the Gold Cup this year, the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup, is the start of a new trend for Jamaica. I like the call-ups. I like how they're trying to persuade players to come and join the Jamaican national team, and let's hope they are rewarded. Let's hope that Jamaica shows up and plays well and wants or makes other players want to become a reggae boy officially, not just in heritage, but legally for the footballing career. I do hope that the Jamaican national team can do it this Gold Cup, and I do think they can. Now, of course, we're going to have a lot of predictions and previews and whatnot. We're going to probably live stream some games. We might even go to that first game and vlog it for you guys. So if you guys are not yet subscribed, number one, why not? Number two, let's do it now. You can go ahead and hit the button down below. Leave a like if you guys are obviously excited for the Gold Cup in the same way that we are. And obviously leave a comment down below how you feel about this team going into this tournament. But I, for one, am somewhat excited. Not somewhat. I'm very excited. I like this team. I like the way it looks on paper. I do think they could do a lot in the Gold Cup. And obviously Jamaica, every single tournament, are one of those teams that could do it, right? I mean, it's been for too long now that Jamaica have, maybe it could be one of those teams that one of the CONCACAF beaters of the big three, but it's time for them to actually show it. And with this team, I do think they can. I think it's time to show it, and I'm very happy with the call-ups that they made. Other than Mason Greenwood, of course, and obviously I think this is the one time I'm not going to diss the JFF because that probably wasn't their fault. That probably was Mason, but I do like it. I do like it overall. So Let us know in the comments down below how you feel about this team. Hopefully you guys stick around on the channel for the future. We have a lot of good content coming your way, guys. I promise you, with some other creators too. And if there's a specific creator you guys want us to collab with, let us know in the comments down below, of course. Otherwise, that's going to be it. My name is Elijah, per usual. This was the Getting Football podcast. Honestly, this place is a Reggae Boy podcast, and we love that. We love that. Make sure you guys subscribe and leave a like and comment down below. We'll see you guys later. Take care.